happened. A lot has happened since we last saw you, so we need to address the big elephant in the room straight away. How about the young Pope? Huh? Pretty crazy, right? There's a kangaroo in the Vatican. I can't think of anything more shocking to have happened in the last few months. Oh, do you know what? I guess there was that one thing.
And so now the United States has a new president, the 45th president of the United States. There he is, Donald J. Trump.
That's right. We now live under President Trump. Two words that will never sound normal together, no matter how many times you say them. Like panda mustard or mom's orgasm. Now, the last few weeks have been frantic. Trump's nominated a Supreme Court justice and issued 24 executive orders and memoranda, one of which, the notorious travel ban, has been smacked down repeatedly in court, to which he tweeted nonsensically, "See you in court." He also somehow failed to mention Jews in the Holocaust Remembrance Statement, used the National Prayer Breakfast to make fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger's ratings on The Celebrity Apprentice, and Twitter bullied the Mexican president into cancelling his visit to the US. And that is just the tip of the shitberg. It has been so busy, it's gotten to the point where the most terrifying sound is your phone buzzing with a news alert. I hate to say this, but I actually found myself at one point saying, "Oh, thank God, it's just that Mary Tyler Moore's dead." Oh, that is a massive relief. We've been living in a world where if someone says good morning to you, the only acceptable response is no. No, it isn't. What is wrong with you? And even if you try to avoid the news, inevitably someone will come up to you and say, "Hey, did you hear the new Secretary of Labour is a giant jar of wasps?" Now, I'm kidding about that. The actual nominee is Andrew Puzder, who has opposed raising the minimum wage and who currently heads Hardee's and Carl's Jr., the chains famous for tasteful ads like this.
Introducing a classic patty melt with a spicy twist.
That is truly the perfect ad to prepare you for the actual interior of a Carl's Jr. restaurant, which is undeniably so hot. But before you can be horrified by Puzder, you remember Trump's Attorney General is Jeff Sessions, recently named Man of the Year by Wrong Side of History magazine. In fact, all Trump's nominees seem to have been chosen sarcastically. The Secretary of Education hates our public education system. The nominee to head the EPA hates the EPA. And the future Secretary of Energy is this guy. Cool. Rick Perry once proposed eliminating the department that he will soon head, although, to be fair, he later recanted, saying, "After being briefed on so many of the vital functions of the Department of Energy, I regret recommending its elimination." I can only imagine he thought it protected our reserves of Monster energy drinks. Come on, y'all, you can't have monsters getting energy. Why are we even giving them drinks? This department needs to be shut down. Cha-cha-cha. With the pace of chaos raining down upon us, it is important to find something to centre yourself. Now, personally, I've been using this framed photograph of Eddie, the dog from the TV show Frasier. I look at this whenever I want to feel better, and I'll tell you why. Because Eddie is the perfect example of something that has absolutely no idea what's going on in the world right now. He's a dog, he's fictional, and he's almost certainly dead. And at various times these past few weeks, I have been genuinely jealous of all three of those things. This is going to be a long presidency, and perhaps nothing encapsulated the way many of us feel right now better than Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. On Friday, he met with our new president for what was a comically long and marathon-like handshake, but just watch his expression at the end. I feel you. I feel you. That is the Prime Minister of a country known for awkwardly long formal displays of respect, and even he is going, "Oh, fuck this shit." And now, this.
And now, Donald Trump can't shake hands right.
Thank you very much.
much for joining us. And we begin this evening with President Trump. 2 words that will always sound unnatural together, like fuckable clown or wolf blitzer. And the reason we have to start with him is Trump dominates the news cycle the way a fart dominates the interior of a Volkswagen Beetle. There is simply no escape from him. Now, just a case in point, last night Trump held a pointless rally in Florida which got roadblock coverage across cable news. And while his speech was mostly boilerplate Trump, the media is fake, Chicago is a nightmare, I'm the greatest, there was one thing he said while warning about the danger of refugees that caught people's attention.
You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible.
Oh, no, what happened there? Did someone blow up Sweden's most famous landmark? And if they did, what was it? There was just one little problem with what the president said, and I think this news clip sums it up.
We start this hour with an urgent plea from Sweden to the U.S. government asking, what is your president talking about?
Yeah, it turns out there was no terror attack. And look, just a quick message to all other countries on Earth. In the future, you're going to find yourself wanting to ask, what is your president talking about, a great deal. And the answer is almost always going to be, we have no fucking idea. Now, Trump has since admitted his comment was in reference to a story that was broadcast on Fox News the night before concerning immigrants and Sweden. So, sifting through Trump's brain to see why he said something is now like examining a shark's stomach to see what it ate. Oh, OK, there's a sea urchin, a decomposed dolphin skull. Oh, a Fox News segment on Sweden, that's what did it. It stuck in his throat. So here is where we're at right now. Trump can dominate the news merely by referencing something that didn't happen in Sweden. And that is a real shame, because this week has seen a great deal of fascinating stories go undercovered, like this one.
The estranged half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un poisoned as he waited for a flight.
That story is both incredible and not entirely surprising, because if you're associated with Kim Jong-un, your odds of being murdered are around the same as if you live in a town that Jessica Fletcher visits on Murder, She Wrote. Death follows that woman wherever she goes. And I'll tell you why, because, and this is true, she's a serial killer. Hashtag Jessica Fletcher is a serial killer. But it wasn't so much who was killed that was surprising with this story, it was how.
One of the 2 women accused of carrying out the hit now says she thought she was just taking part in a TV prank show. Police say the suspect claims she was paid to convince men to close their eyes and she would spray them with water along with another woman as part of a gag. But with the last target, Kim Jong-nam, police believe the water was secretly replaced with deadly poison.
Holy shit! That is a really harsh prank show. You're dead and you're a murderer. I got you. Well, actually, she got you and we got her, but still, you're double pranked. There is nothing that is not fascinating about that story, but it didn't get the attention it deserved. And the same is true of this incredible story that you probably missed from Florida.
A Florida man behind bars this morning accused of plotting to blow up Target stores up and down the East Coast. According to the arresting documents, the 48-year-old offered someone $10,000 to put 10 bombs on the shelves inside Target stores, warning not to let the boxes bounce around or they would explode. His motive? Authorities say Barnett hoped the bombings would send Target stock prices plummeting so he could buy shares on the cheap.
Magnificent. That story contains homemade explosives, a big box store, an idiotic get-rich-quick scheme, and felony charges. If it somehow also involved a snake on meth, you'd have full-on Florida bingo right there. And the stories don't